Okay, hello. My name is Krzysztof Golasik, and today I wanted to talk about CSS, especially about margins, margin zero auto, when does it centers. It's very, um, I would say, complicated topic, but we'll get to it. Yeah, so. First thing, what's box model? It's important to understand this when we want to talk about margins. Okay. um, so, if you ever used Chrome DevTools, you probably saw one time maybe this box when you hover on element in HTML, you see those margins, border, padding, and content. So it's important to know that content is this blue box here, and whole box is all of these elements. It's very, I think, important to understand how the margins work. But what is margin for? Many people might think that it's only this little space to add between elements, so they are a little bit further away from each other. Yeah, but that's wrong. And I will tell you why. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, also, you can add margins to give this little space to the elements, but in box model, it's commonly used to center things or position things, elements in your HTML. So, for example, margin zero auto, like to use it to position your element to the right, to the left, or to center. And yeah, here we got, yeah, all right. So first thing, each of these elements have set margin zero auto. And you might saw on the CSS tutorial on the internet some things like whenever you want to center anything in CSS, just write margin zero auto, it surely be centered. And it's, yeah, it's not true. I checked it, believe me. All right, so first thing, you use display block, you give it margin zero auto, and it doesn't work. Simple as that. Yeah, but it's important to see that margin is, all right, whole box is 100% width, so it's on the whole page. And in case of block, yeah, blocks have automatically, defaultly, whole page width. Like in this case, you can see it's from far left to far right. And in block scenario, it covers whole page, so you cannot see that it's center, especially because it covers whole page. So how can you center something that is 100% wide? Yeah, so I thought, what if I set it width? So we've got display block, margin zero auto, and width, for example, 300 pixels, and it's magic. It's centered now. So that's one thing. Also, you can set those width by setting max width in CSS. It also works, as you can see. Yeah, inlines, they just doesn't work. Whatever you do, it just doesn't work because it's in CSS, it's treated more like, I would say, kind of more like characters. Simple, like you have got some text in HTML. Inline element is like one element, one character in those texts. So here, why doesn't work? Because, all right, let me back to the previous previous slide. Every element here, to center the element inside, it's important that box have whole page wide. So whole box is on whole page, but content is smaller than whole box. It's important to center things by using margin zero auto. In this case, even box is not whole page wide. So how can you center something? All right, you cannot center anything in element that it's not even wider than thing you want to center. Yeah. All right, so basically for inline elements, it won't work, and you cannot do anything to it so it could work. In this scenario, you can just simply add text align center and it will be centered. So it's even simpler. Right, next thing, flex or table. In flex, it's a similar scenario to blocks. It's defaultly 100% wide on whole page, so it cannot be centered because it covers whole page. So how can you center something that is whole page wide? Yeah, if you set width or max width to flex element, it will be centered because whole box is on whole page, it's wide for 100%, and it's important to just set width of content of this element so it can be centered left or right or center. Yeah. In table, it's kind of weird for me. We do not use table like very commonly, but defaultly have some width. It's like try to set width to minimum, I would say, to match content. So it's enough to set margin zero auto without anything else to center a table element. All right. In absolute, if you say set position absolute for block elements, even if you set width, even if you've got the absolute, it won't be centered. It's in this scenario also absolute doesn't care about the page, so it's like take your elements out of HTML and place it in absolute way, I would say. It doesn't care about other elements and page. So yeah. Also here box model doesn't have whole page wide. It's not whole page wide. So it's important to set left and right property for absolute positioning. So the whole box can be now wide for 100%, and we've got width set, so we've got something to center in whole box. Same scenario for inline elements, because you cannot do anything with inlines when they are in position static, but in absolute scenario or fixed sticky scenario, you can set left, right, and width, so it can be centered by margin zero auto. Yeah, but for position, absolute, fixed, or sticky, we can use left 50% and transform, translate minus 50%, etc. All right, so summary. For position, state, static, or relative, the element must be block, flex, or table to work. All right, for margin zero auto to center, maybe like this way. For positioning absolute, fixed, and sticky, display can be anything, but left and right must be set because, as I said before, whole box have to be wider than the content. And last thing, yeah, logically, content width cannot be equal to 100%, like in block scenario or flex scenario. Content is 100% wide, so it cannot be centered in something that is not wider than it. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much. And do you have any questions? Thank you.